Yeah, so we're heading back. It's Thursday. I don't know what time it was. I put on there midday, but we did the excursion in the morning. We were supposed to get back to the ship somewhere around lunchtime, but and I'm also recording this a full year later, 'cause, so it was middle of the day. But it was interesting. We got to this one part here. We were still making our way back around to the ship, and I guess we started getting pretty close to shore because we ran across a whole bunch of people with these jet skis. And you'll kind of see them here in a minute. They were having all kinds of fun out here and jumping waves and jumping their own wake and doing all kinds of stuff. So they provided a little bit of entertainment on our way back to the ship. So it was kind of fun. We were recording this is all footage from Maria's GoPro. I decided to try to take just some regular still pictures, just to see how good the GoPro 3 would do with still images. And so you'll see me at several points in the video just trying to hold my GoPro steady to see if I can take a picture. And they're okay. Nothing to brag about. And I'm so used to the photography from my professional cameras that I use when I do my events that when you look at some of the pictures coming off of the GoPro, it's like, well, okay, I guess the GoPro is really only for video. At least the GoPro 3 was. But because in this setting here, you've got good lighting conditions, and it is what it is. I mean, I think they were really primarily designed for video. So, and I wasn't about to bring an expensive camera out here on this in this kind of setting, so that obviously stayed back in the room. So I knew she was recording video, so I was like, okay, I'll just try some still images and see how they come out. And I think you can see some of them on my website. I'm pretty sure I included some of them in the gallery for Aruba. But yeah, at this point we're just kind of chilling out. They've got us making our way back to port. The Midushi that we're on, the boat, it's not exactly a speedboat, so we're probably cruising along here at about 10-15 miles an hour, if that. So like I said, fortunately the jet skis were there to kind of provide some entertainment. And it's a beautiful day. It's not like super bright sunny, as you can tell. It's a little overcast, but the temperature was good. You got the wind from the boat moving and everything, so it was nice. And they're playing music in the background. You can also probably hear some of the clicking noise from the GoPro periodically, I've talked about that in some of the previous movies. It's one of the things that absolutely drives me crazy about using the GoPros in the waterproof case, and sometimes they even do it in the non-waterproof case. So it's just, it'd be interesting to see when we get to Hero 5, see how those do. But, yeah, a lot of fun with it. And if you've never ridden a jet ski before, you definitely should do it. One of our favorite things on the cruises is when we go to Labadee, Haiti, they have a wave rider excursion where you're basically just riding jet skis around for an hour. And it is so much fun, and it sells out early, so if you ever do a cruise going to Labadee, Haiti, and the wave runners are available, you got to make sure you book those early. But for our cruise in September, Labadee, Haiti is one of the stops on there, and we have definitely booked our wave runner. So when I go to put the videos together from that cruise, you should see some video from the new Hero 5 from us riding the jet skis. I haven't decided if I'm going to do a helmet mount or if I'm going to try to do a body mount for the camera, so I'll have to figure that one out, because obviously I'm going to have both hands on the wheel driving the jet ski, so I'll have to figure out where and how I'm going to mount the GoPro. But not exactly sure where we are in Aruba. We're just kind of making our way around.
That'll do.
That was kind of funny. I don't remember what he was doing exactly, but showing off a little bit, I guess. Those guys are, as you might imagine, those guys are in amazing shape. Living the life in the Caribbean, I guess. And so now we're coming back up on the ship, and it's the Adventure of the Seas. This was trying to remember what class of ship this is in. I think this was the class right below the Oasis class. Because whenever they come out with these class of ships, they'll make several of them before they design and start building the next class of ship. So the Adventure was probably, because the Oasis class was launched in 2009, and if this was the one before it, then this ship would have come out probably 2003, 4, 5, somewhere around there. You'd have to look it up on the website. I don't remember exactly, but it was a little bit of a step down because the two cruises previous to this one were both on the Allure of the Seas. And that ship is massive compared to this one. And now we had done several cruises before, though, back in the early 2000s and stuff, on ships like this, and even smaller. We've done a 3 or 4 night Bahamas cruise one time. The ship was like really older and much smaller. But when you get used to the Allure class and how big it is, and then you step back to one of these ships, you're kind of like, oh, I missed this, But we did this particular cruise because it was the Southern Caribbean, and we'd never been able to, you can't take any cruise out of Florida and go to the Southern Caribbean and still keep it to 7 nights. It's just too far. Even if you go out of Miami, there's just no way they can go from Miami all the way down to the several ports in the Southern Caribbean and then go back to Miami in 7 days. It's just And so we decided, okay, we'll do this one. It was out of Puerto Rico, which is sort of an experience in of itself. I'd always wanted to go to Puerto Rico, and I now I can say I've been. But this particular cruise was definitely all about the ports of call, and because Aruba is probably of the different islands that we went into, the ABC Islands, I think Aruba is the southernmost island. I mean, we're really close to the coast of Venezuela at this, on this stop. But it was definitely worth it. It was definitely a different change of pace, and we're after this cruise coming up in September, I think the next one after that one is probably going to be an Alaska cruise. But that's still a couple years away, because in 2018 the big trip for us is going to be Germany, so we'll be planning that one. So the next cruise may not be until after the one in September. The next cruise may not be until 2019, so we'll see. But yeah, this is us coming back into shore and getting ready to get back up onto the ship here with some additional footage while we're in port. Looking out over the at the balcony here. Like I said, we didn't really go into Aruba at all. We came off the ship and there's kind of giving you the view down there, but we came off the ship and took an immediate right and went down to the pier over there where the Midushi was parked, and we were straight out to sea, and then that was it. I think we did go back into that white building right there to maybe get some t-shirts or something, but we didn't really go exploring on the island, so I have no idea what Aruba looks like. So that would have to be, I guess, a future trip to see that one. with it being a Southern Caribbean, I don't know. But that would entail another cruise out of Puerto Rico, and who knows. At this point, we've pulled out, and we are now heading back. I think because this was the last stop, so now we have a day at sea and then back to Puerto Rico. This is footage right here from Maria's GoPro, and then in just a second here, we're going to transition to footage from her cell phone. Right here, or actually, hang on just a second, it's coming up. But her cell phone actually does a really good job of capturing video. When we went to Italy a couple of years ago, it turns out that quite a bit of the video footage from the Italy trip was basically just a combination of my iPhone and her Android phone. And they do such a good job at recording video that, and of course you've always got your phone handy. So and in this particular case, I guess she got tired of recording with the GoPro, and you'll see here in just a minute where we get some footage, and you might notice some of the differences in the audio. I don't know how much of it you can hear, but there's a little bit of a difference between the two, but it's still, I think the phone actually probably does a little bit better job of recording audio than the GoPro, which is kind of interesting. Whenever they pull out of port, we always kind of go a certain speed because they don't want to go too fast for creating wake. And yeah, here we go. This is footage from her cell phone. So we were port side, which is left, by the way. Deck 9 or deck 10. We were way up towards the top of the ship. So we got a little bit of footage left from the day at sea, which would have been Friday, recorded on her cell phone. So I think I've got just enough footage to record or make movie number 14, and then that will probably wrap it up for this particular cruise.